Hi friends, Tracy.bish here, Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in Australia. Welcome to Halloween Spooktacular for week 5. Today we are doing our 3D project and look how good this little angled box is. So cute. Petunia Pop is our favourite colour here today, and it has a gorgeous little ribbon that will come straight off. This is a little angled box, as you can see. It opens up to a box inside. Now you could put a Ferrero Rocher in there, you know, a few little lollies that are wrapped maybe. And I didn't notice this before, but look, this backside of the DSP is a gorgeous little pattern. It's actually a little cat looking through a window. So that's so cute that that worked out that way. I don't think it'll work out today that way, but just because of the directional of the paper and all that sort of stuff, but we'll wait and see. All right, and this just slips straight back on. Gorgeous little iridescent Petunia Pop ribbon. And how cute is this? So this sort of measures, let's have a quick look. 1 5/8 by 1 5/8 by 1.5. There we go. So cute little box that'll hold a few little treats inside. I am using the Fright Night dies. So this is the Fright Night set. We're not doing any stamping on this. We're making it really, really easy, but I am using these dies. I have done a little bit of die cutting already, but let me just quickly show you this set. It does have 2 labels that fit around the stamps here, which I have shown in previous videos. There's a little label banner. We have 2 words in here, boo and eek, and I have already die cut the boo. We have, I believe there's 3. Yep, there we go. 3 cobwebs. We have a little hole punch and a little spider. So I have done my die cutting already. I just wanted to show you those dies because it's a great set. I love both the Halloween sets in the online exclusives. Now these are available in the online store right now, so you can go and check out my online store there and purchase these if you're after those. All right, let me show you the supplies that I have. I've got a piece of that Spooky Halloween DSP that measures, let me have a look. Where is my list? Here it is. 4.5 by 6.5. We have a piece of Petunia Pop, which is a little box for inside. This measures 4 3/8 by 4 5/16. I have pre-die cut my little boo and one of the cobwebs in Petunia Pop. And let me just show you, in that DSP, there is a sheet, or there's actually 2 sheets of these great little die cuts. And I'm going to use this little bear fairy. I think it's a bear, and she's definitely a fairy. So cute. So we're going to use that on our project. But look at all the great die cuts you have. You've got the cauldron and the spooky slime. We have bottles and potions, crows and pumpkins. We've got candy corn. We've got witches' brooms. We've got banners, we've got hippos, there was trees, there's all sorts of different things in that set, and I love that Stampin' Up! Are bringing out ones that have die cuts in them as well. Okay, so we're going to create our little box here. Oh, actually, also while we're talking about our supplies, I'm also using the Petunia Pop, is it 1/4 inch? 1/4 inch iridescent ribbon, I think that's what it's called. So, and that's part of the Spooky Halloween suite. All right, let me grab in my tool to do a little bit of scoring. This is our paper trimmer. Now, I'm not sure whether I said hello. I'm in the comments section right now if you're watching the premiere, to answer any questions or to chat with you. So if you are watching the premiere, please pop on, get into the chat and say hello. Let me know where you're watching from. Let me know if you're enjoying the series. Maybe if this is the first time you've seen it, let me know. Maybe let me know which is your favorite project so far too. That's always interesting to me. Okay, so this is Petunia Pop cardstock. It measures 4 3/8 by 4 5/8. No, 4 5/16. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let me just work out what one's what. 1, 2, 3. This is the 4 5/16. So we're going to score this at 1.5 and 2 7/8. Which, you know what, it doesn't matter because we're going to score both of them at 1.5 and 2 7/8. That makes it super easy, doesn't it? Sometimes I make things so hard for myself. Okay, so we have a little inside box. Let's bring our DSP in again. This is 4.5 by 6.5. On the 4.5 inch side, we're going to score at 1.5 and 3 inches. There we go. And then 6.5 inch side, we're going to score at 1.5, 3, 4.5, and 6. Now I've got that 6-inch score line that we've just done. That's at the top. I'm going to line it back on the 4.5 inch side, and we're going to place the edge of our DSP here at the 1 inch mark. And what we're going to do is we want to score a couple of the sections. So that first little tiny tab, we're going to score that one. So first, the third, and the 5th tab is where we're going to score at that 1 inch mark. So let's do that again. 1 inch, put it to the top. I'm going to do that first section, the third section, and the 5th section, sorry. Then we're going to move it to the 3 inch mark. And again, we're going to do the same. So that first section, the third section, and that 5th section down the bottom. And I know it's going to be really hard to see, but just know you've got your different sections, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You're going to do the first section, third section, and 5th section. Okay. I'm not going to use my bone folder on the DSP, and I'm only going to be doing those main sections, so not the half ones. So those 2 score lines at 1 and 3 that we only did certain sections, I'm not scoring those. I'm going to leave them blank. Okay, let's bring in our Petunia Pop. And we're going to score on all of those sides. And then let's do a little bit of cutting. So, need the 4 3/8 side, which is this one here. This is 4 3/8 across. These 2 ones in the middle are going to be my main pieces. So if I turn it this way, now we're on the 4 5/16. I'm going to cut up these score lines. This one here, up to this one, and this one. And now what we want to do, this is going to be our piece that goes, like our side pieces for the box. what I'm going to do for these is I'm just going to cut these down just slightly, and just take a little bit of bulk off. So let's take off a little bit here, a little bit here. Now we've taken a little bit of bulk off. I'm also going to miter cut these because these are going to be our tabs. Okay. So we have that ready to go. We can pop that to the side. Now this one, we have our tab at the top. Oh, this is our little tab at the top. What I need to do now is, so I'm going to work from this side, and I don't know how well that's going to see, but we have the tab at the top. We have our, what is it? 1 and 3 inch marks. So we've got these two little tabs in here, and then that centerpiece. So where is that one? Did I not press down on one side? Oh my goodness. Let's have a quick look. Oh, it's not 1 and this one's a 1 that we scored. We're actually going to 3.5. Oh my goodness. So I'll explain to that again in just a second. Okay. So once you have all your normal score lines in, when you're doing your partial score lines, you're going to put the DSP at 1 inch, and you're going to score at the 1st, 3rd and 5th. Then you're going to go to the 3.5 inch mark, not the 3 inch mark, the 3.5 inch mark, and you're going to score the 1st section, the 3rd section and the 5th section. All I did was just score over my same line again, and I didn't notice what I was doing. Okay, there we go. So what we have is we have a rectangle, a square, a rectangle, a square and a rectangle. And then what we need to do is I need to cut across to that second score line on both sides. So let's do that. And we're actually going to take off the end rectangle. So let's do that again. It's a little hard to see in this light. So it's going to give us a little tab at the top. So like that. The next one we're going to do is we're going to cut to the second score line again. So over to the second score line. Over to this. Well, it's actually the only score line because that one's doesn't have a second score line. Oh, I'm making a mess of this, but you can see what we've done here. Now what we're going to do is I want to cut. So this is the right side round. I'm facing it this way. You're going to cut from that score line that you just, the cut mark. You're going to cut from that point to this tab piece here. So let's go pop the scissors in. I'm going to eyeball it to that point, and that gives us that cut. And we're going to do the same on the other side. Now if you're doing it from this side, I could cut from this score line here up to that part here. So whatever works for you, do what makes sense. So cutting to that tab, and that gives us that little tab there. All right, the next one here is we're going to cut to that second score line again. down, and the opposite side, second score line. And then we're actually going to cut off this large rectangle here, and we're going to be left with our little rectangle tab. So let's do that. And other side. That gives us our little tabs here, and these are going to be tabs, so we do need to just do a quick miter cut on both sides. How cute's this little ghost in the window. All right, so the next one down, we're going to cut all the way in to that first score line, because there is no there's no second score line in this one. And again, opposite side. And then same with this one, we're going to go from this cut mark up to the edge of that tab. So cut mark up to the tab. Corner of the tab. To the tab there. And then same as we've done this one here, we're going to cut up at that score line. So we're left with that little tab, and same for the other side. And then we're going to just do a quick trim on both sides. And that's going to leave us with this shape, like so. All right, so now we can start popping these all together. We are going to add, and you could use liquid glue. I'm going to use my trusty Terran tape. These tabs are going to come up the side and adhere this down. So I'm going to add my Terran tape to my two little tabs on either side. Like that. It's a beautiful day here today. I'm filming this on Sunday. My husband's out mowing the lawn. I've got washing on the line. But yeah, it's a beautiful day out. We're starting to get that little bit nicer weather, which I'm looking forward to. I just don't want the heat. Not a fan of summer at all. We could do spring and autumn all year round. I would actually be very happy with that. So then we're just going to line up those edges, stick them down. You could use, you know, your Seal Plus, liquid glue, whatever you prefer as your adhesive. And just the other end. There we have it. A little box for the Ferrero Rocher. I think I've actually got one here. Let's stick that in. There you go. So we have one. Okay, for this one, we are going to adhere adhesive to our little tabs on the side. So let's do that. And you're also going to need a little bit of glue on these little tiny squares. So we're going to start at the back. Line up our edges, and you can see there's a little bit of an overhang here from our tab. No problem at all. Just going to bring your scissors in and cut that off. Oh, didn't do a very good job with that. There we go. Going to do the same with this side. Here, that one down. We're going to have to do a quick chop on this one too. And then this just tidies the front of the box up as well. That in and under. A little bit of rubbish in there. Okay, so our little box is going to go inside. Let's add, you can add it to the side, or I just add it to the base. Like so. Ugh, come on. Down, and then this comes over the sides and creates your little box. So there we have it. Let's bring in our ribbon. I'm just going to tie a little knot on the top. You don't want it to be too tight, so they can undo it, or if it's a little bit looser than that, you'll be able to slide it on and off like I've done with my sample. Take off some of that excess there. Yep, that's the front. Okay, now we can decorate. So little fairy's going to go on the front, but before we add her down, let's grab a mini glue dot and we can secure down our petunia pop cobweb. Who says they always have to be black? Certainly don't. And you can either pop that up or just adhere it straight down. I think I'm just going to adhere it straight down. So like that. It hangs over just a little, which is fine. And then our boo, I'm going to add a little bit of liquid adhesive as well. And pop him down over the top. And I didn't do it for my sample, but let's bring in the Wink of Stella. And we're going to add a little bit of sparkle to Boo, so it really stands out. Oops. Something's going on with this Wink of Stella. It's coming out at great force. So it gives it a nice little bright shimmer and shine to the sentiment as well. Oh, that looks so cute. I'm going to have to do this one too. It's too plain without it. And you could do the spider web as well. Trick them up or leave them a little bit plain, whatever you're doing, depending on, I suppose, how many you're going to be creating. If you're creating 100 of them, that could be a lot of work. Now, the other thing is too, is you could use the foam stickers, these ones here, and add something to there. Let's put one on just because we can today. Might put one on the end of her little wand. How cute is that? That's gorgeous. And that is our little treat angled box for week 5 3D item. I really hope that you've enjoyed today's project. I hope you'll give it a go. If you're in need of any of the supplies that I've used on today's card, or you would like to create your own little Halloween treats, you can purchase them in my online store, and I would love it if you did. I've got some great specials for my customers, and I like to spoil them as well. So come and join in if you don't already have a demonstrator to purchase through. I'll be back on Friday as a premiere for our week 5 cards. Come back and join me for that. I really hope that you've enjoyed the series so far and you've enjoyed today's project. If you have, please give me a thumbs up. I would love it if you left me a comment. Now, if you're watching the non-premiere and just watching the replay, please leave a comment in the comment section. And if you haven't hit subscribe, please do that as well. I would love it if you did that. All right, everyone. Thank you so much for having a little bit of time with me today on Tuesday. I'll be back on Friday with another project. Until then, have a wonderful day, and I'll see you all soon. Bye.